Now I'm going to start this video where I feel I should. An enormous thank you to every single one of you who has liked my content enough to hit the subscribe button. 2,000 and counting. It's an incredible milestone, and it still feels amazing, like 6 and a bit months later after starting this channel, to know that I'm making content that positively affects the community. That's great. I really appreciate the support. I hope that I can continue making great content and y'all can continue supporting me down the line. But for the rest of this video, instead of monologuing for 18 minutes like I did in my last 1,000 subscriber video about how much of a journey it's been, I thought that we would violate the #1 rule of posting content on the internet. Not just YouTube, just on the internet. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be a feckless MCOC YouTuber, or you could be the literal king. There would still be some guy in their mother's basement telling you how you're shit. Everybody's a critic, and the people on the internet will die before letting you have the last word, before letting anybody else have the last word, right? That's it. That's it. And the #1 rule is you just ignore it. You just leave them. The comments are not worth your time. Don't get caught up in it. But today I thought we would go completely against that, so I spent, a couple hours digging through my content to find 6 hate comments. Now, I'm sure there are more, but this is what we have for now. And let's kick things off with this comment. This was underneath one of my earlier Alliance War content videos. Now, I quickly tagged onto the fact that very few people are interested in feckless Tier 2 Alliance War, so I stopped it. But at the time, it was decent content, and the playlist is still on my channel if you want to check it out. But this guy writes, "You are crazy. Kate Bishop versus Sinister on Sun Reflection? Aha, aha, ha, ha. I hope you..." What? "I hope you be banned." Guys, I'm gonna be banned. Jesus. Right. He could mean 2 things here. The first thing he could mean is that he thinks Kate Bishop versus Sinister on that node is impossible, therefore I'm a hacker and I should be banned. But I've shown multiple times on this channel that not only is that matchup possible and the node combination possible, it's a really good trick to learn, right? If you want to invest your skills in Kate Bishop, learn how to take Mr. Sinister. Really useful defender to learn how to counter, really trips a lot of people up. The second thing he could mean is that I died, therefore I should be kicked from the Alliance. Although dying is fairly common, so that's a dumb thing to say. It looks like, from the profile picture, this was a fully grown adult male who wrote this. And from the looks of it, I think that's a little girl next to him. So I really hope that his daughter, I'm guessing, does not inherit his manners or his fucking brain. But either way, we move it on. And we move it on to this comment. This comment was underneath my video on the Kabam boycott. I showed up in a suit and I explained all the issues in the community and I had my own take on it. I went on a bit of a rant. But this guy writes, "You're smelling like Jeffrey Sessions. Not a good look, mate." Now, at the time, I had no clue who Jeffrey Sessions is. I looked him up. I think he's an American politician, if I remember correctly. Why the fuck I smell like him, I don't know. I think this guy's pretty irrelevant. And I have no idea how he could possibly have arrived at the desire to post that, having watched the video. But there we go. Profoundly confusing comment, I think. Not really hate. It's not as hateful as some of the other ones on here. But just really weird. Really weird. Who the fuck is Jeffrey Sessions? It doesn't matter. Anyway. This is probably my favourite. This one's probably my favourite. This was underneath my 3-star Bastion video, my 3-star rank on my gameplay video. And for some reason at the time, this video did exceptionally well. Got thousands of views very, very quickly. Which is very confusing. Very welcome, but very confusing. And this guy writes, "What a young homosexual decided to..." What? You're going to spot bad grammar is really a common theme in this video. "Decided to making YouTube career." Deciding to make a YouTube career, you fuckknuckle. You can't even pronounce Bastion.
Bastion.
Okay, there are two possible explanations for this. The first one is either he genuinely doesn't know how to pronounce Bastion,
Bastion.
or he thinks I'm cute. That's it. You calling me a homosexual, you just fancy me. That's probably it. I'm flattered. I'm taken, but I'm flattered. Yamaru. Piss off. Alright, it doesn't matter. Moving on, we have this comment. This comment was underneath my I Hate These Champions video. Probably the video I am most proud of on my channel. I think it's the one that's had the biggest impact on the community. I'm really proud of it. It's in a playlist called My Scripted Pieces, and there are a few videos like this one in that playlist now. Definitely go check it out. But this guy writes, I can't fight Guillotine 2099. You just suck. Now, Grim, I have a challenge for you. If you can prove to me that you are a master at fighting every single one of the 300 plus champions in Marvel Contest of Champions, and you can flawlessly take them down in whatever context with whatever champion on whatever node, then I will back off and I will publicly apologize to you. But until that point, I'm willing to bet good money that I suck just a little bit less than you. I'm not a bad player, and I also bet that there are more than a couple champions that you trip up on. So it's either that, or he's responding directly to the footage I actually showed in the video of me fighting Guillotine 2099, and it evidently didn't penetrate this guy's fucking thick skull that I might have been egging it on a little bit. Right? I would never actually fight Guillotine like that. That was to prove a point. And you're a clown. Okay. Moving on. We have this one. This is a really interesting comment. This is an interesting comment. It was underneath my MCOC characters as memes video. And this guy writes, they're Marvel characters, not MCOC characters. And to that I have three questions. The first question is, do you know what MCOC is? The second question is, have you ever played MCOC, if you indeed know what it is? And the third question is, why? Just why? How do you go from watching a video that is so painfully, obviously designed to make you laugh, and your response to that is to write that comment? How and why is that what's going on in, it's not really a brain, is it? In your head. What is wrong with you? What is going on? Is it like a hamster just like running a little hamster wheel and that's how you work things out? What is this? And my other question is, if they're not MCOC characters, who the fuck is that grey version of Thanos that appears directly next to original Thanos, who doesn't appear in anywhere else in the Marvel literature? Unbelievable. Jesus Christ. Okay, now we move it on. And this comment's quite special. It's probably the most aggressive on this list. I'm sure there are one or two comments I've missed. In fact, there's one actually I did miss, but I can't be asked to put it in at this point. But this was written underneath my Sentinel is a Magnet for Stupidity video. Now, Dick here writes, can't read. I said in the video that there are two possible explanations for somebody using null against the buffed up version of Sentinel, and that's either A, they can't read, or B, Sentinel is a magnet for stupidity, hence setting up the rest of the video. But Dick here writes, can't read? What if they just never looked into his buff? Just overlooked him? That makes them stupid? No, you're just another I can't read it with a straight face. I can't read it with a straight face. Sassy male in 2025 throwing a hissy fit. And before the desperate common response of I'm that person, I don't struggle with him. Now, Dick, if you're going to complain that a Marvel Contest of Champions YouTuber is a sassy male in 2025, you've got another thing coming. You've got another thing coming, mate. My viewing analytics for females is 0.01%. Okay, I am willing to bet that precisely zero of the self-identifying population on YouTube have ever clicked on a Marvel Contest of Champions video. We appeal to a very specific demographic. So that's a dumb thing to say. The rest of this, and before the desperate common response of I'm that person, Dick, I would never suggest that you were that person. That's a dumb thing to suggest, and it's a dumb thing to suggest that I would think that. So, you're a clown. But just for you, Dick, just as a token gesture, I recorded a nice little clip to show that as a result of my community feedback, people have looked into the Sentinel buff, they have recovered from this disease, and people are no longer stupid. Roll the fucking clip. Alright, that clip got done for copyright, which is completely fair because I put Gangnam Style over it, although the edit did go insanely hard. But this screenshot is basically all you need to know. In short, people are definitely still stupid. You see, Dick, I'm not like other MCOC content creators. I'm rude. I'm crude. I'm generally a bit on the nose, and if you don't like that, it's not my problem. You don't need to watch my content. But to the 2,000 of you who evidently do like that, I'll see you next time.